Good morning, students. I am Dr. Balagudi, Assistant Professor, Economics Department. See, in today's class, we are going to discuss about the role of money. So, first, we will give an introduction about this role of economy. Then, we are going to discuss about the role of money in economic development. And after that, we are going to discuss about the role of money in the socialist economy. So, these are the important aspects we are going to discuss in today's class, right? First, money in the sense it is a way in which societies have been become more complex as well as organized over time. See, for example, the simple system of exchanging commodities through barter system, now it has developed into this overall world and the use of money in different types of complex economy. So in ancient days, we were using the barter system. See, instead of one commodity, we are exchanging another commodity. So this is what happened in this barter system. So money reflects how society has changed. See, in the days of watering and subsistence agriculture, wealth is measured how much of land we are holding. But if you see this modern society, our wealth is measured in how much of money we are having. So as farmers began to harvest more crops than they need, they create some excess crop or excess surplus. So they traded these surpluses for another commodities and eventually for money. So when people started trading goods for money, people gathered in certain areas to make it easier for buyers and sellers to meet. So these areas became established markets where towns and cities developed around them. So this urbanization means that people could exchange ideas more easily, which lead to advancement in science, technology, as well as philosophy. So money allows people to store the payment for their labor in a form that lasts for an indefinite time. So in this way, they can choose to use this payment in any way, right? So we will clearly discuss about the role of money. See, money is considered as a medium of exchange. See, whenever we are buying goods and services, by trading, we are considering this money is a medium of exchange. So, for example, you want to exchange money, you have for food in a supermarket. So suppose you want to purchase any food items in a supermarket, you need some money. So when you give money, then only you can purchase this type of commodities. So it is considered as a medium of exchange. At the same time, money is considered as a unit of account because it is a standard measure of how much of goods and services are worth. Suppose if the money, that is, if the prices are high, means the worth of the product is also very high. Or the prices are low means, what does it mean? The worth of the product also very low, like that. It gives some standard measure of how much of goods and services are worth. So it is very helpful us to make some decisions whether something we can afford to buy or not. And money is considered as a store of value also. See, if we want to hold this cash, we can hold and we can store. And in the future, we can use this money. So it is a store of value, right? Now let us discuss about the role of money in economic development. So generally, it is believed that the economic development of any country, it depends on the growth of real factors like capital accumulation, technological progress, and it increases the quality as well as the skill of the labor force. So this type of view doesn't express the role of money adequately in the process of economic development. So it is said and mostly believe that money is a mere veil and intrinsically unimportant. So what matters is the real goods and productive factor with money buys. So, but in the modern times, this extreme view is not at all believed. Now, in this modern economic time, money is an important factor because without it is present complex economic system is impossible. Money serves as a standard of value. At the same time, it is considered as a store of value, standard for deferred payments, and most importantly, it serves as a medium of exchange. So, a monetary economy, in the sense, it is an economy in which goods are sold for money and money is used to buy goods, right? Then let us concentrate on the role of money in economic development. How is the money promotes economic development? So mainly money promotes productivity as well as economic growth. At the same time, money promotes saving as well as investment. Money invested in quick yielding projects. At the same time, money and inflationary financing of economic development. Monetization as well as economic growth also possible with the help of money, right? So these points we will clearly discuss it one by one. So the first role of money in this economic development is money promotes productivity and economic growth. How money promotes productivity and economic growth? So if you see this barter system, it was full of problems like double coincidence of funds. So sometimes due to the shortage of any product, most of the consumers they want to purchase the same product. So this double coincidence was the main problem in this barter system. At the same time, lack of standard unit of account. See, some products prices may be very high. The value of the some products may be very low. But in this barter system, there was no standard unit of account. At the same time, impossibility of subdivision of goods. See, we cannot divide the goods in terms of value. So these were the major obstacles we were facing in the water system. At the same time, specialization and division of labor also was the main constraint in this water system. So the division of labor, specialization, it increases the productivity. And when productivity increases, what about the growth of the economy? Growth of the economy also increases. So this is the first role. Then second thing is money promotes saving and investment. See, in this barter system, the goods were not at all consumed, where the savings and the investment means investment and the savings were the same. Which made this investment depends on the savings under the water system. But in the modern economy, it is not like that because money made the investment independent of saving. So nowadays, the saving is different, investment is different, right? So in this modern economy, any household or any individual persons, they can save their money. And sometimes if you see the farms, they are investing their money for the purchase of capital goods. So now investment is different from the saving. So in the monetary economy, investment can be greater than the saving. So it is possible because the government or the central bank of the country can print money and increases the supply in the economy. So it leads to create more employment opportunity in the economy. At the same time, it increases output. Our national income also increases. So when national income increases, our consumption, saving, investment, all these increases, right? So this is the second role of the money in the economic development. Because when saving and investment of the person increases, finally it results the economic growth, right? next third role is money, the quick yielding projects. It is mostly that any increase in this money supply in the developing countries, it leads to the rise in prices, or it leads to create inflation in the economy, because when prices increase, what about the inflation? It creates inflation because the continuous or the substantial increase in the price of the commodity is considered as the inflation. So, but this is not always true, because a reasonable or required amount of newly printed or created money, it helps the development of the economy, because by increasing the level of investment, right? So, if you see any developing countries, a lot of natural as well as human resources unutilized or sometimes underutilized, which can be used for productive purposes. So, if the newly created money is used for investment in projects such as flood control, land reclamation, irrigation works, and cottage industries, which yields quick returns, then the problem of inflation will not be there, right? So these type of projects will increase the production of essential consumer goods in the short run. So it will prevent the inflation, because it will prevent the rise in the prices. Then the next point is money and inflationary financing of economic development. So according to Lewis, in an economy marked by scarcity of capital and abundance of labor and idle natural resources, credit creation or bank money would lead to the increase in capital accumulation in the same way. As does a more respectable source, that is the savings out of profits, right? So according to Lewis, capital formation resulting from a net increase in the money supply would be accompanied by a rise in prices. But it will be a short time. When the modern sector expands by more capital formation and surplus labor employed in it, it is paid out of the created money. So the immediate effect would be the rise in the prices, right? So when the purchasing power in the hands of workers immediately increases, the output of the consumer goods remains constant for a time. But when the newly formed capital created by credit money is to use, the output of consumer goods also increases. So after a time lag, output of consumer goods catches up with the increased purchasing power, and the prices would start going down, right? And the next thing is money, how it promotes economic growth. So it is well known that the most underdeveloped countries have a large non-monetized sector. Production is for the purpose of subsistence only. So to break this subsistence nature of the economic activity and promote economic growth, we need monetization, right? If you see this money, it is very helpful to these subsistence sectors to connect with the modern sector. So this connection is normally very helpful to the subsistence sector to expand its output also. So in order to obtain these products of the modern industrial sector of the people, they engage in the subsistence sector, will make efforts to raise their output also. So a surplus of output over their self-consumption will be generated, which will break the subsistence nature. So this is supported by the history during the colonial period. The monetization of the present sector lead to the expansion in exports in exchange for the imported industrial products. So this monetization of the subsistence sector also very helpful in increasing the volume of savings, right? Now, let us concentrate on the role of money in a socialist economy. So, if you see a socialist economy, the central authority owns and controls the means of production and distribution. All mines, farms, factories, financial institutions, distributing agencies, it may be internal and external trade, or it may be shop or stores, whatever it may be. It means of transport and communications are owned, controlled, as well as regulated by the government department. Therefore, the pricing process in the socialist economy, it doesn't operate freely, but it works under the control as well as regulation of the central planning authority. So Marx, he believed that money had no role to play in a socialist economy. What is the reason for that? Because it leads to the exploitation of labor at the hands of the capitalists, right? So he advocated the habilitation of money as well as exchange by bartering goods measured in terms of labor value. So by keeping these in his mind, the Marx he gave an idea. See, government in Russia eliminated money as a medium of exchange during 1917. So money payments for the use of various services and goods were abolished, but barter transactions proved to be too clumsy. So even though some communist writers they had prematurely hailed the dying out of money, it becomes obvious that the socialist economy needed a stable currency, nearly as much as a private enterprise economy, right? So accordingly, market exchanges, money and monetary incentives were reintroduced in the new economic policy during 1921 to 27 in the USSR. Since then, the Soviet economy has been using money in production, distribution, and exchange such that money acts as a medium of exchange, store of value, and a unit of account. Right? Money is generally accepted by all the people within the economy. At the same time, overall, the whole economy also they are accepting this money. So it is generally acceptable by all the persons. At the same time, it is a recognized and a centralized medium of exchange in the economy that is to use to facilitate transactional trade for goods and services. So the use of money, it eliminates the issues from the double coincidence of bonds that can occur in bartering. So economically, each government has its own monetary system defined and monitored by the central authority. See, in our country, we are using rupee. And if you see US, we are using another monetary term that is the dollar. Like that, each and every government has its own monetary system. So this type of currencies represent a new form of money with international exchange opportunities. So money is commonly referred as a currency. Economically, each government has its own money system, right? These are the important aspects we have discussed in this today's class. Thank you, friends. In this today's class, we have clearly discussed about the role of money in the economic development. Thank you, students.